The pinnacle of the sport is the Nicholson McLaren British Hillclimb Championship. In particular, the top 12 runoffs, in which the top contenders battle against the clock for all important championship points in a one-run shootout. The championship visits Gurston Down twice a year, in May and August. So let's take a look at a typical British runoff at Gurston. And don't forget, we're talking about 650 horsepower and 150 mile an hour up a 12-foot wide country lane. First of the line then, Carl Davidson, former Gurston Down top 10 champion with his 4 litre Judd-powered Gould GR37. We'll be able to give you trap speed times. First of those will be the launch out of the blocks, and 2 seconds is equivalent to 1 G of acceleration. It's 1.84 over the first 64 feet for Carl Davidson as he comes into Hollow Bend at 129 miles an hour. We can also give you a split time now as he comes through Carousel, makes an interesting comparison. It's 16.06 for Carl Davidson as he goes over the top of Deer Leap now and into Ashes. Heads for the finish line then, and it's a finish speed of 120 miles an hour and 28.94 for Carl Davidson. Next to the line, retired police officer Chris Merrick from Stroud. Chris driving the ex-Roy Lane Gould GR55 with 4 litre Judd EV power. His second season in the car. Waits for the green light before the launch out of the blocks. Remember, 2 seconds is equivalent to 1 G of acceleration over the first 64 feet, and it's 2.01 for Chris Merrick as he heads down the hill into Hollow Bend. Clocks the speed trap at 130 miles an hour. Now let's check that trap speed as he comes up through the Carousel. 16.06 for Carl Davidson and much quicker for Chris Merrick. It's 14.74 as he comes over Deer's Leap into Ashes, heading up now on the final section of the run, and he's around about the 140 mile an hour mark as he goes through the speed trap, and 26.86 for Chris Merrick. Coming to the line now, Paul Ranson shares defending champion Martin Grove's Gould GR55B with 3.5 litre Nicholson McLaren power, and Paul going very quickly in his own right this year, 6th place overall in the British Championship with the car. Paul Ranson then away from the line now, and 1.94 over the first 64 feet. But down the hill into Hollow Bend, he's quickest of all so far at 134 miles an hour. Quickest split is Chris Merrick on 14.74, but Ranson hits the clocks on 14.66 to take the lead as he heads for the final section of the course now, using all the road on the exit from Ashes Bend as he heads for the finish line. Quickest of all so far at 145 miles an hour and 26.71. It's the lead for Paul Ranson. Now Simon Durling in this smaller engine Nicholson McLaren powered Gould, the 2.65 litre engine, the same as the original Cosworth XB Champ Car engine on which all these Hillclimb units are based. Simon Durling, chief instructor at Gurston Hillclimb Driver School, so he should know his way up the hill. Waits for the green light, in goes the clutch, 1.93, a hundredth quicker than Ranson over the first 64 feet, but just a couple of miles an hour slower through the speed trap at 132. 14.66 the time to beat at the split for Durling. He's into Carousel now, 14.77 for the man currently lying 4th overall in the British Championship. Now he too heading over Burke's Rise towards the finish line. Not quite such a quick trap speed at 134 miles an hour, but 27.11 seconds for Simon Durling. Now it's Guernseyman Mike Dean in the distinctive orange Gould NME. Again, another of these 3.5 litre Nicholson McLaren V8s in the back of the Gould GR55. Unlike Durling, who scored his first British Championship win just a few weeks ago at Booley Bay in Jersey and followed it up with another win at Wiscombe Park, Mike Dean yet to win a British Championship hill climb round. Will this be Mike Dean's day? waiting for the green light once again, and he's away from the line. The quickest launch yet at 1.88 seconds. He's down the hill, a little bit down on speed though, at 124 miles an hour. What will the split time be? Well, he's got to beat 14.66, and it's not as quick. 15.04, perhaps not the best of runs for Mike Dean, but he's pouring on the coals now, getting a little bit sideways out of ashes as he heads for the finish. Hits the clock at 145 miles an hour, equal with Ranson, and 27.11. Now Roger Moran, the 1997 British Hillclimb champion. Not taken the title since then, but never been out of the top three since that championship win. Roger Moran at the wheel of the Gould GR61X that he and Scott Moran assemble at their Ludlow base. Third overall in the British Championship. Unlikely to catch son Scott, but the launch time 2 seconds, perhaps not quite the best of starts there for Roger Moran, but he's down through the first speed trap at 133 miles an hour. Looks on the pace. 14.66, the quickest trap time yet from Paul Ranson, and for Roger Moran 14.79, not quite as quick, but once again very neat and tidy out of ashes as he heads towards the finish. Ranson's quickest trap speed 145, which is equalled by Roger Moran, and 26.72, just a hundredth of a second short of Paul Ranson into second place. Now British champion Martin Groves, an unrivaled 19 wins in this series, and looks all set to take the British title with just 4 rounds left after this one here at Gurston Down. But he's got to beat Scott Moran, who is on form today with the fastest qualifying time. Carl Davidson quickest out of the blocks on 1.84, and Martin Groves exactly matches that time. He's heading now down towards Hollow, and 134 equals co-driver Ranson's quickest trap time through the first speed trap, but now through the split at Carousel, 14.13, the quickest so far as he heads towards the upper reaches of the course now. He's got the finish line in his sight, and it's 146 miles an hour. Quickest yet over the finish, 25.99, takes the lead. Martin Groves, so just Scott Moran left to run, the fastest qualifier. Really knows he needs a hill record to get on terms with Groves to have any chance of taking Groves' championship title from him, but perhaps a little bit of a forlorn hope, because Groves has such a vast lead once the drop scores come into play. But Moran 1.78, that's the quickest launch so far, and down into Hollow at 132 miles an hour. 14.13 Groves trap time in the middle of Carousel, and Scott Moran, well, 14.18, marginally slow, but he's on the pace now as he heads up into Ashes. Again, a good tidy exit from the final bend. This crucial run up over the top of Burke's Rise now, 25.99 to beat, and Scott Moran 25.89 takes the win by a tenth of a second with fastest time of the day. That's his 7th win of the year. Well, Martin Groves has a 13-point lead in the championship with just 4 rounds remaining at Prescott and Doon, but Scott has really put the defending champion under pressure this year.